Hey guys, Chris here. Today we're going to talk about the brand new Volkswagen ID.2 All that was just shown as a concept yesterday. This car will be launched late 2025 and come to market in 2026 and will start from under 25,000 euros and have 450 kilometers of WLTP rated range. So today we're going to go through all the details, look at the concept, the exterior design, and the interior because there is a lot to be excited about here. But before we do that, I just want to give a huge thanks to today's video sponsor, Zaptec, with their Zaptec Go home charger. The Zaptec Go is a small, cool, and stylish home charger that can charge up to 22 kilowatts. It will work with every electric car on the market, even a Tesla. What's cool about this charger is that it was the best in test in Norwegian Automobiles Association's test of home chargers in 2022. And also, you can change the color of the cover later on. So say you paint your house and you want to change the cover to match your house, you can do that at a later point in time. So if you want to support the channel, if you're looking to buy a home charger, go to the link in the description box down below, find your country, click on that link, and you can purchase a Zaptec Go home charger from there. Now let's start with the exterior, and I have to say this is one of my most favorite designs to come out of Wolfsburg in a really long time. I mean, I really like the exterior design. This is a new direction for Volkswagen now, and it really harks back to, well, more traditional Volkswagen, more classic Volkswagen that a lot of people grew up with and a lot of people like. You know, it's a modern design, but this is, more similar to 80s, 90s, 2000s Volkswagen than it is today, because the clean and simple and just identifiable design of this is really, really nice. So hopefully this is the first in a line of a lot of cars to come out from Volkswagen in the coming years under new CEO Thomas Schaefer. Yes, this is a concept, but it's going to be very close to the production version that's going to be launched at the end of 2025 and actually come to market in 2026. So these cars are about, 2.5 years away from order, 3 years away from people taking delivery. And it is an exciting car, especially because it's going to cost less than 25,000 euros and have a WLTP rated range of up to 450 kilometers. Volkswagen also say 10 to 80% in 20 minutes. But we don't know battery pack sizes, we don't know, charging speed. We do know that it's going to be front engined, so front wheel drive, and 230 horsepower, doing 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 7 seconds with a top speed of 160 kilometers per hour. As much as I love the exterior design and I'm excited about future Volkswagens to come out based on their brand new design language, the real star of the show, in my opinion, is this interior. If the interior in the ID.2 is going to be anything close to this, well, we're in for a treat. Because first off, the design language, the simplicity, the straight lines, the no bullshit is so traditional and classic Volkswagen. Thinking about Volkswagen Golf 2s, Golf 3s, and Golf 4s from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, this is in line with that. But not only that, the quality. I mean, I grew up on Volkswagens from the 80s and 90s. Friends of mine had, Golf 2s and Golf 3s. But I specifically remember when I was around 18, 19, and me and my friends, were really out, exploring the world by ourselves. A very good friend of mine, his mother had a brand new Volkswagen Golf 4, a Mark IV Volkswagen Golf. And we, drove everywhere with that car, black on black, just classic Volkswagen. And I remember the solidity, the interior feel, and just the smell of that car, especially, the quality, fit, and finish. Like, I admired that car. And remember, our family car at the time was like, we had an Audi A6 and then we had a BMW 5 Series station wagon, brand new cars. And I remember this Golf like costing half of those, big Germans, and like the interior quality was like 95% as good. And that's what's been really disappointing with, Volkswagens the past few years, especially the ID.3 and ID.4, is just like, this isn't Volkswagen interior quality as I grew up. This though, the ID.2, if we're gonna get anything close to this, we're in for a real treat, because the whole interior is just covered with fabrics and microfiber. it's just a beautiful designed interior. And also we have a bigger driver's display that a lot of people have requested. So instead of that small like 5 or 6 inch, this is an 11 inch, and then the infotainment system is a 13-inch screen. We also have seems to be physical jog wheels on the steering wheel, one for the left, one for the right. Hopefully one of them is volume. So thumbs up Volkswagen, that's a complete 180 from the touch capacitive buttons, as well Thomas Schaefer, CEO of Volkswagen, said they were going to do. So it's really nice to see, you know, a CEO of a big company like this, like, acknowledge that, okay, the direction they're going now and have been going is not what people want, and they can backpedal, they can backtrack, and then they can change that for the future. We have physical buttons for the windows. We even have a iDrive controller for the infotainment system, and a volume jog wheel on the center display with its own, you know, climate control button. So I mean, applause to Volkswagen, because I'm super excited about this new ID.2. Volkswagen haven't given us any information about the actual battery pack sizes or peak charging speed, but from what I've heard, there are going to be 2 different battery pack sizes. I'm guessing a small one and a big one. And I saw also the video of Thomas from Autogefühl, and he said from some source he got the information of 125 kilowatts of peak charging speed, but he was actually critical to that charging speed. He said this isn't good enough. He hoped it was quicker, you know, being a car that comes out in 3 years. But I actually completely disagree, because if that is true, peak charging speed of 125 kilowatts and 10 to 80% in 20 minutes, which Volkswagen have said, that means to be able to achieve these numbers, the car has to have a flat charging curve from 10 to 80%. That means 125 kilowatts from 10 to 80%. And that is something I absolutely can advocate. So let's do the calculations first. So if we take 125 kilowatts, we multiply it by 0.33, giving us 20 minutes of charging. That is 41.25 kilowatt hours. We divide that by 70, which is, you know, 70% charge. It's what you get from 10 to 80%. And then multiply that by 100, we get 58 kilowatt hours. And this is the battery pack size you can choose in the Volkswagen ID.3. So this makes complete sense. And also the peak charging speed of those battery packs is like around 100 kilowatts. I think the 58 kilowatt hour version one is, and the bigger pack peaks at like 130. So it's completely feasible that, you know, they go from 100 or 110 peak charging speed to 125 and make that charging curve flat. They have to. For these numbers to make any sense, they have to. And I think that is great, because I would every day of the week, and I've spoken about this for years, have a peak charging speed with a flat charging curve from 10 to 80% that is lower than a peak with a much higher charging speed, which, you know, fluctuates. So, because there's a few reasons for this. First off, like, it really doesn't matter where you start charging, you're still gonna get decent charging speed. Secondly, you're much less sensitive to be reliant on faster chargings. Imagine this car to 10 to 80% in 20 minutes with only requiring 125 kilowatts charger. This is going to be the fastest charging car most of the time out of any cars. And I drive a Porsche Taycan Cross Turismo that does 10 to 80% in like little less than 19 minutes, but I have to find a 270 kilowatt charger or faster. And I mean, you don't have to be a scientist or a doctor or a brain surgeon to understand that there are far less 275 kilowatt chargers than there are 125 kilowatt chargers. I mean, it's like probably tenfold. So I would rather have that. And also, from my Audi e-tron days, I had an Audi e-tron 55 a few years ago, and the average charging speed from 10 to 80% versus something like the high-end Ioniq 5 is actually around the same, around 150 kilowatt from 10 to 80%, even though that Ioniq 5 peaks at close to 240 kilowatts. Most of the time, that Audi is going to actually be able to achieve faster charging, and that's the same case here. So I'm excited about this. Is one of the things I'm most excited about, because this means this car is actually going to be faster than most cars to charge in the real world most of the time. So guys, let me know what you think about the new Volkswagen ID.2 All. Are you excited? I'm actually really excited. I may get this as a second car to use here around Oslo, and maybe a primary car. I don't know. I really like small and simple transportation like this. I've always done. So guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below. And for more car content, as always, please subscribe. See you guys there and goodbye.